What's up, you guys? Chase the Dark Sage here, and I am back with another episode of Weebie, the series where I'll talk about anything and everything anime and manga related. And in this video, we will be talking about the Baroque Works saga within the One Piece manga. Now, when I was younger, I used to watch One Piece as it came on the 4Kids dub, and we all remember those glorious days, so I really won't touch on that. But I do remember stopping at the Alabasta Arc, and now as I reread it, or actually read it as an adult, I gotta say that Alabasta is still one of my favorite arcs within One Piece, and I gotta say that, whew, this One Piece manga is getting spicy. But before we get into my thoughts on this whole saga, I gotta give a shout out to my Patreon pledges for going ahead and financially supporting the channel and the boy myself. I gotta say that you guys are helping my YouTube dreams become a career, and I gotta say I highly appreciate and I highly thank y'all. Secondly, I gotta give a shout out to Noti Gang and my returning viewers / subscribers for all the love and support y'all give me. And if you are a new viewer, first of all, I gotta give y'all a shout out. And secondly, I gotta tell y'all to subscribe to the channel if you do like anime content, manga content, and just collectible content, as y'all can see from the background behind me. And I need y'all to hit that post notification bell. I need everybody to go ahead and hit this video with a like right now so you won't forget. And lastly, guys, if you want to hit me up outside of YouTube, my social links will be in the description down below. If you want to pledge to the Patreon, have your name shown at the beginning of the video, go ahead and pledge to the Patreon in the description down below. And I do have some cool Dark Sage merch on my Teespring link, which is also in the description down below. All my links, description down below, as y'all can see. So, let's go ahead and get into it. So, the beginning of the Baroque Works comes right after the East Blue arc, and this is when they get to that one place where they re-meet Buggy and Alvito, which was at the beginning of the beginning of the whole manga series, which it's all right. I mean, they kind of feel it, like y'all could just toss them to the side. But it's cool that with Oda, what he does at the beginning of each of his chapters, he has a little side story going on while the main crew, the Straw Hat crew, has their main story going on, which I think is cool because you kind of see the evolution of other characters, like secondary, like background characters, and they come back into the forefront of the manga series, which I kind of do like. So I gotta give Oda his props for that because my boy be world building slowly but surely within the first page manga panels or whatever. But besides that, they get to this little island thing, and Zorro has to get some more swords. Then Nami, you know, already saved her island thing, so she's trying to get some money, looking at shopping. But we get to finally meet Captain Smoker, who is such a great character by design. Love his attitude, man. Captain Smoker, I remember when in the 4Kids dub, they called him Chaser. I think they named him after me, probably. I think because I'm cool, he kind of cool. Chaser, like my first name is Chase, so okay, I'll get on with it. So they had this big old chase scene of Captain Smoker from the Navy or the Marines trying to get the Straw Hat crew because he is a pirate hunter since he is part of the Marines, so he has to capture these guys. And obviously, with Luffy and the Straw Hats, their bounty is basically going up, so they run the buggy, they run the complications. Soon they get off that place that they're at, and then they hit the Grand Line, which I did not remember when I was younger, but I didn't think they hit the Grand Line so soon. But my boy Jerry did tell me that they did hit the Grand Line once the Baroque Work arc started, so I guess I was in for a surprise right there. Right after that, these guys go to Whiskey Peak. I'm not going to talk about the whale because what Luffy and the whale did, it was cute. I'll give it that. It was cute, but we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about what happened at Whiskey Peak now. And my boy Zorro, he showed out. He was taking everybody out with a meaningless test of his new swords. I want y'all to think about that. Y'all know how overpowered Zorro is within this arc? I mean, he was just testing out his new swords and he was taking everybody out. And see, Zorro got the respect on his name. Like, everybody knew who Zorro was because he the pirate bounty hunter. Then they be like, oh, why he a pirate? Man, don't worry about that. Mind your business, man. Mind your business before you get slashed by Zorro's sword with the onigiri, you know what I'm saying? Which is like very fire name for a move. But besides the point, they take them out. Then you meet the Baroque Work characters like Miss Wednesday and Number 4 and all that type of stuff. It's kind of confusing. It's not really confusing, but you just really don't want to remember their names because they become just useless later on. And I just really didn't care. So we get to meet Vivi, which is the princess of Alabasta, and she needs her country to be saved, but she already knows it's from the work of the Baroque Works, which is kind of funny that I said that, but it's from the work of the Baroque Works that something wrong is going on within her kingdom, and she has to get down to the bottom of it, but she infiltrated it previously, but got her cover blown because they was about to kill Vivi already. So she teams up with the Straw Hats in order to save Alabasta. So right after they get from Whiskey Peak, they go to Little Garden, which I really did not like. I really felt like Little Garden was so boring, but I get, you know, you have to have some scenes with other Baroque Work characters like Mr. 3 with the candle wax, which was a pretty fire move, but he got taken out so easily. And sometimes in this manga, I hate the fact that they implement like too much comedy within the action. Like when there's action happening, I don't really want too much comedy. And Luffy, it's really mostly with Luffy and Usopp. Usopp I'm cool with. Luffy, he's always doing something dumb or stupid that I kind of don't like, but it's all right for Luffy. But I kind of wish they toned back down on the comedy. and go ahead and let's get to the fight scenes. But I know I shouldn't be taking this too seriously, but I'm not gonna say it's not enjoyable. I really enjoyed actually reading the action scenes. Sometimes the action scenes are a little weird because obviously you see the character's finished move rather than the movement of his move, which is all right, but obviously for certain things like that, I probably gotta watch the anime. But guys, I really didn't like Little Garden like that. Obviously, I felt like it wasn't filler, obviously, because it was in the manga. But I just felt like it was padding. Like, I really didn't really need that. Obviously, this is going to pertain to Usopp later on, probably within the post-time skip. He trains with them. I don't really know, but he talks about how they're honorable warriors and that he wants to be just like him. So this is foreshadowing probably for the post-time skip when they had the 2-year gap. And he's probably going to train with them. I don't know. I'm just assuming. I'm just guessing. I don't know exactly what all they do within the 2-year time skip. So right after this, they go to Drum Island. And that part made a grown man cry. Now, honestly, with the backstory of Chopper and knowing what happened with Chopper later on in the series, I really didn't care, especially when I was younger. I really didn't feel it right here because they was doing too much talking. And I just wanted to see some action. I saw a reindeer talking, and I thought that was cool. But as a grown man, actually reading the backstory of Chopper and what happened to him within the Drum Island arc, man. Oh, I cried in public. I'm tearing up right now just thinking about it. Dr. Hilo? I'm a grown man. I'm a grown man. Suck them tears in. But we get the backstory of Chopper. I can't look at y'all in the eyes directly right now because I'm a little teary-eyed just thinking about it. No, I'm seriously teary-eyed. I'm not going to lie. Like, that part made me cry, and just thinking about it makes me want to cry a little more. And the worst part was, I was reading that in public, and I started tearing up. So everybody probably looking at me weird, like, why is this man crying? Like, did he get a bad breakup text message or what? Like, no, man. I'm just... Chopper, man. Chopper. He didn't deserve that. And basically with this whole backstory, with each of these little backstories, or each time you know that a crew member is about to join, the villains are generally weaker or not really the main focal point, which I guess is pretty cool. The villains serve their purpose, but it's more focused on the character's backstory and getting that character to join the Straw Hat crew, which I kind of like. But sometimes I wish the characters were a little cooler, like Wapole. He literally got his butt waxed like 3 times. Like, and then his character design is ugly. Like, I don't really like him. But that backstory for Chopper. Ooh, and then when Chopper, he popped that perky. Well, the Rumble Ball. I know it's called the Rumble Ball. But when he popped that Rumble Ball, he transformed. My boy Chopper. Ain't nobody could say no. Oh my God. Can't nobody say nothing about my boy Chopper. And oh my gosh. I know he really doesn't do much in the manga later on. Like super later on. But still, just the backstory that I got from him was really the saddest backstory that I got, and it made me cry. Like, I was bawling just a little bit. And now we get to my favorite part. Right after Drum Island, they go straight to Alabasta, and man, this is when Smoke Central comes out. Like, not Smoker, but like Smoke Central. This is when you meet Ace. This is when you meet Crocodile. This is when you meet Nico Robin. And oh my God, this is so good. This is so fire. Like, I love the Alabasta arc because, first of all, the villain has a great motive, first of all. The one thing that I felt was lacking in the East Blue arcs, the villains didn't have that great of a motive. Like, they were just evil for the sake of being evil. But with this Crocodile character, the Seven Warlord, his plan was well thought out. He was ruthless. And he's just a savage and he got that drip. Like, come on, y'all didn't see that Versace fur coat he had on him? Man, he's the freshest villain out here right now. But needless to say, Crocodile is my favorite villain in One Piece as of right now. And I gotta say that, the arc between Luffy finally fighting Crocodile, and the one thing that I do like about this arc that changed it, that really made One Piece kind of take a 180, like made it actually get serious, Luffy lost the fight. This is one thing that was missing within the previous arcs. Usually Luffy would win and then they'd join the crew. But in this one, Luffy lost and it just felt like there was no hope happening. Obviously I know that Luffy is going to win because, you know, this is chapter like 170 something out of like, what, 900? But the way that they paced this, the way the pacing was in this manga arc, the way the characters were, man, the way the action was too, every character served a purpose. And like I said before, you get to meet Ace, Luffy's brother, which I know is not really his blood brother, but you get to meet Ace, Luffy's blood brother. But I really do like this arc because this arc actually fleshed out a lot of the characters that we have, and they were put in situations where they were shown their great attributes and things like that. So I gotta say, I definitely like this. I definitely like the pairing of like Chopper and Usopp, Sanji versus Mr. Two Bon Clay, which is a weird character in itself. Zorro versus Mr. One, and Nami versus the Spiky Girl. I think that this arc was beautifully made, beautifully done. I've heard a lot of people say this is a top tier arc within One Piece. I'm not gonna say it's the best arc, but to me it's my favorite arc, and especially with Crocodile. Crocodile to me, as of right now, is the best villain, obviously written wise, because he actually has a motive and he knows what he's doing. He doesn't come off as some stupid, oh, I'm brawny and I can do whatever. Like, he knows how to use his devil fruit ability to the greatest extent that he probably can, which I thought that the genius of Oda's writing, just making that sand fruit ability just so, I guess, useful. Like, the way he was able to just drain the moisture out of things. Like, he was able to make rocks into dust, basically, which I thought was a super dope power. He was able to drain Luffy. He beat Luffy, and man, the fight between him and Luffy, both the fights, well, all three of the fights, technically, were great and phenomenal. Like I said, I give this arc the Dark Sage approval. Should I make that a thing? The Dark Sage approval? But I really did like this arc of Alabasta. It's my favorite arc so far. Right now, I'm about to go into like Skypiea and Water 7 or whatever it's called. But I want to buy the manga books before I get into it. So right now, right after this video right here, I'm probably going to go read Chainsaw Man, which is all right so far. I'm like 3 chapters or 4 chapters in right now. But let me know what you guys think about this One Piece review. Let me know what you guys think about the Alabasta arc. I really heavily enjoyed this Alabasta arc. I think it's one of the greater arcs of One Piece so far. I know I haven't been through much, but it's one of the greater arcs of One Piece so far. But like I said, guys, let me know what your comments down below. Let me know your favorite villain of One Piece up until the Alabasta arc. Obviously, no, not too many spoilers within the comments. Now, I know this show has been going on for over 20 years. Please no spoilers in the comments for your boy. And I'd like to say thank you guys for watching. If you're new to the channel and you haven't already, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, and that post notification button. I'd like to say thank you guys for watching. Dark Sage out. Peace.